Hello and welcome to Galaxy Primetime News. My name is Nanwar Ngimazaka. I'll begin with the headlines. The bill seeking to mandate domestic processing of raw materials before exportation has passed second reading in the Senate. The Magistrate Court in Ado-Ekiti denies bail to human rights activist Dele Farotimi. On foreign scene, Syrian rebels fighters finds around 40 bodies showing signs of torture in the mortuary of a military hospital in Damascus. Details of these and more we come to you shortly. Just stay with us. And now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Shamsuddin Babatunde as the acting accountant general of the Federation. Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, in a statement said his appointment is effective immediately following the pre-retirement leave of the incumbent AGF, Dr. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Sakirat Medain. In announcing Medain's successor, President Tinubu ensures a seamless transition in the administration of Nigeria's Treasury and consolidates the implementation of the present administration's Treasury policy reforms. As a career civil servant and the most senior director in the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Ogunjimi brings over 30 years of extensive experience in financial management across the public and private sectors. He has held significant positions, including Director of Funds at the OAGF and Director of Finance and Accounts at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. President Tinubu commends the outgoing Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Medain, for her dedication and selfless service to the nation. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commissioned a state-of-the-art data complex situated at the headquarters of the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS). The center, which is being operated in conjunction with other stakeholders in the security sector, is expected to enhance national security surveillance and efficiency of the country's migration border management processes. President Tinubu arrived at the Nigerian Immigration Service headquarters in Abuja, was received by the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo and the Controller General of Immigration, Kemi Nadab.
To commission the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology Innovation Complex at the Nigeria Immigration Service headquarters, Sauka, for the judicious and prosperity of the service.
This is an example of an interministerial cooperation between Interior and Immigration. For your information, this initiative has been mooted so many years ago during the past governments. But there were constant conflicts between Aviation and Interior.
In her opening address, Nadab said the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology Innovation Complex will ascertain the risk level of persons entering the country, detect irregular migration patterns, and monitor unmanned borders in hard-to-reach areas nationwide.
We are setting a new benchmark in the use of technology to protect our borders and enhance national security. At the heart of BATIC's mission is its ability to manage and analyze varying levels of data efficiently and using state-of-the-art technology. Allow me to highlight some of the key functions and capabilities of this remarkable facility. 1. Advanced passenger information and passenger name record. That's the API and the PNR analysis.
Correspondent Nabuchi Uke Nabuchi reports that the data complex, which is the first of its kind in Africa, marks a significant step forward in Nigeria's digital transformation journey. A bill seeking to mandate domestic processing of at least 30% of raw materials before exportation has passed second reading at the Senate, sponsored by Senator Nruboyi Peter. The bill aims to amend the Raw Material Research and Development Council Act 2024, introducing provisions for local processing and production protection. Correspondent Kunujo sent in this report.
In his lead debate at Tuesday's plenary, Senator Nruboyi highlighted the transformative potential of the bill for Nigeria's economy. He argued that mandating local processing would boost local manufacturing industries, create jobs for Nigerians, reduce dependence on imports, and the demand for foreign exchange.
This legislation aims to boost local manufacturing, enhance job creation, and reduce overdependency on importation, and mandating, I repeat, and mandating that no raw material be exported outside Nigeria without undergoing at least 30% processing domestically.
To develop other economies, whereas we have the capacity, the human capital, the technical resources, to a kind of art on these raw materials, to process these raw materials.
After deliberations, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, put the bill to a voice vote, where a majority of lawmakers voted in favor, allowing the bill to scale its second reading.
Bill for an act to provide for the establishment of raw materials, processing and local production protection, and for later matters 2024, second reading taken. And this bill is now referred to the Committee on Science and Technology to be brought back to the Senate in 6 weeks.
In a similar development, the Senate also gave approval for the establishment of Federal University of Mining and Geosciences, JUS. The passage of the bill followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund. Chairman of the committee, Senator Mohammed Muntari, said that establishing the Federal University of Mining and Geoscience would deepen research on mineral exploration in Nigeria.
That the Senate do receive and pass the bill for an act to repeal the Nigeria Institute of Mining and Geoscience Act 2018 and establish the Federal University of Mining and Geoscience, JUS, to make comprehensive provision for its due management and administration for related matters 2024 as recommended. In conclusion,
Senator representing Plateau Central, Senator D.K. Blanc, who sponsored the bill, said establishing the institution will enable Nigeria to build the domestic human capacity, knowledge and skills required for the development of the mining sector.
the public hearing of this bill was overwhelming, where we have even the governor of Plateau, the Bongom of Jos, and 6 first-class traditional rulers and various stakeholders in the mining institute came. I feel that this bill is another opportunity for us to have a University of Mines.
Following a close-by-close consideration, the Senate passed the bill for a third reading.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has expressed optimism about the country's economic performance in 2025. He attributed a positive outlook to increase oil production and other economic indices that are expected to boost revenue and reduce debt service. Edun made the remarks in Abuja while presenting an overview of the expected 2025 budget proposal and the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to the House of Representatives. Chairman of the House Committee on National Planning and Economic Development, Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, emphasized the importance of ensuring that the 2025 budget is aligned with the country's development priorities. The chairman of the House Committee on Finance, James Abiodun Falake, stressed the importance of reviewing the revenue performances of ministries, departments and agencies (NDAs) in relation to the 2024 budget to ensure that agencies are meeting their revenue targets and that their expenditures are in line with their budget allocations.
Within the context of the 2025 budget proposal and the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. In sum, we must remember that under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's leadership, necessary, bold and courageous macroeconomic reform measures have been taken, and they have been implemented with determination such that...
And don't forget that many of the challenges we are throwing on your table, it's in the interest of nationalism and patriotism. So we want you to please brace up and see how best you continue your giant strides to at ensuring that your collaborative effort at the Federal Executive Council together with our President, we keep our Nigerians.
So we are trying to take a look at the revenue performances of all our agencies as it regards the last appropriation. We are now in December. By now, any agency that comes before us should be able to confirm to us what revenue they have generated between last year and November.
The House of Representatives has resolved to strengthen preventive measures against the XEC COVID-19 variant to avoid another wave of infections in Nigeria. The decision followed a motion of urgent public importance moved by Honorable Iyimi Idem. Idem noted that the World Health Organization WHO recently issued a global alert about the XEC variant, a hybrid strain of the Omicron SARS-CoV-2, which has been detected in 43 countries, including high vaccination nations like the US, UK, France, and Germany. As of September 2024, the WHO classified ZEC as a variant under monitoring due to its increased infectiousness and potential for immune evasion.
Also aware that as of September 24, 2024, the WHO designated the ZEC as a variant under monitoring, and initial experimental data suggests that this COVID variant exhibited increase in infectiousness and unique changes that may contribute to relatively higher immune evasion. Worried that the ZEC COVID-19 variant was first detected in May 2024 and has reportedly spread across 43 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Denmark.
The House of Representatives also directed the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to immediately resolve the cash crunch affecting commercial banks. The resolution followed a motion by Honorable Uguru Emmanuel, who expressed concern over the situation where commercial banks lack cash to dispense, yet point-of-sale operators have large amounts of mint cash to sell.
As lives could even be lost for lack of funds, cash, to take their sick ones to hospital and sometimes nothing to buy food with. Alarmed that while the commercial bank have no money to dispense, the POS
Honorable Kawoje, please, can you be attentive?
The POS operators have in their disposal up to 1 million naira in mint to sell to their cronies and public. And the pertinent question
Honorable Jimmy Benson.
And the pertinent question is, where do they get this money from? Worried that if Central Bank of Nigeria continue to starve commercial banks of cash, especially as we approach the Yuletide season, many people and even businesses will be frustrated and people plunge into untold hardship.
The House of Representatives also urged the FCT Police Command to stop the indiscriminate harassment of motorists and release vehicles impounded solely for tinted glasses or covered number plate violations, provided no other offences are involved.
Thus, the House resolves to 1. urge the FCT Police Command to immediately halt the indiscriminate harassment of motorists and to release vehicles that have been impounded solely for violations related to tinted glasses and covered number plates, provided there are no other infractions. 2, call upon the FCT Police Command to issue a public notice granting a grace period of no less than 90 days, during which vehicle owners can take necessary steps to comply with the regulations concerning tinted glasses and covered number plates.
The Federal Capital Territory High Court on Tuesday remanded the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in Kuje Correctional Center, pending his bail application. Justice Marian Aneni also adjourned hearing in the 110 billion naira money laundering case brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to January 29 and February 25 and 27 for hearing. Correspondent Kulujo reports that the judge had earlier refused to grant a bail application filed by the former governor, saying it was filed prematurely. Justice Aneni, while delivering the ruling, said having been filed when the first defendant was neither in custody nor before the court, the instant application was incompetent. Reading from the ACIA section, the judge said the provision provided that an application for bail could be made when the defendant had been arrested, detained, arraigned, or brought before the court. The judge added that he shall not travel outside the leave of the court and shall remain in Kuje Correctional Center pending the fulfillment of the bail conditions. You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News, and coming up next. Family of the baby that was pronounced dead after birth at Bagada General Hospital condemns the conduct of medical staffs at the state-owned medical center. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Do stay with us. I'm glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live update and current, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The Magistrate Court in Ado-Ekiti has denied bail to human rights activist Dele Faratimi. Faratimi was taken to court for allegedly defaming Afe Babalola, the founder of Afe Babalola University at Ado-Ekiti. At the court hearing on Tuesday, the presiding magistrate, Abayomi Adeosun, postponed the decision on Faratimi's bail application to December 20th. This happened after the police counsel, Samson Oshubu, argued that the bail application submitted by the defendant was incomplete and not properly filed. A nephew to the woman that her baby was pronounced dead after birth at Bagada General Hospital, Agnes Oladeinde, has condemned conduct of medical attendants at the statehood medical center. It could be recalled that on Thursday, 7th of December 2024, a grandfather cried out that his grandchild that was given birth to at Bagada General Hospital and pronounced dead was not the baby cops brought out for them. He said the name tag on the corpse of the baby brought out to them was completely different from the name of the family and therefore believed there was a mistake somehow. Relating the ordeal at the hospital in the course of her sister put into bed at the General Hospital, Agnes said there were numerous mistakes done by the medical attendants that did one thing or the other for them during the labor process. She accused the hospital management of negligence and incompetence and called on relevant authorities to come to their aid and investigate the actual situation of the baby that her sister gave birth to at the Bagada Medical Facility.
We have been in this hospital since Sunday, and all we have experienced is unfortunate occurrences. This hospital is Bagada General Hospital, and I can tell you for a fact that since we have been in this hospital, every unit we have gone to, there has been a mistake or the other. First of all, when I was taking samples to the lab for a test for my sister, the lab attendant had to send me back to the ward that the sample was not properly labeled. They were giving my nephew, she put to bed on Tuesday morning, and then the baby needed critical care. And they were giving us forms to go and get tests done for him. And they had mistakes on the name, like they wrote the name of another baby on that form. And this morning we were informed that our baby gave up and he couldn't make it.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Senator George Akume, has called on Nigerians to remain vigilant and be united at the grassroots level, emphasizing that Nigeria is one indivisible nation. He assured citizens that the current administration is committed to ensuring fairness, equity and balance in all aspects of governance. Senator Akume made the appeal during the National Conference of the National Association of Former Elected Local Government Council Chairman of Nigeria, Nalgon Emeritus. He praised the association's efforts towards fostering grassroots development and urged them to continue working towards national cohesion and progress. Highlighting the importance of grassroots governance, Akume noted that local government councils serve as the closest tier of government to the people and play a vital role in delivering basic services and promoting inclusiveness. He emphasized that the government's focus on grassroots development aligns with its broader vision of fostering economic growth, reducing inequality and ensuring that no region or community is left behind.
I've also advised them to be conversant, very conversant, with what is happening today at the grassroots, at the states and the federal levels, so that they can always make informed comments on national issues. Very sure that this advice is given in the best interest of our country, patriotic advice, because if we don't do so, there are some people with sinister motives who can mislead our people.
Our charge here to all is unity and oneness of purpose, so that the gap between the leadership and the led is reduced considerably. That is the only way we believe that government policies can take root and bear effectively, when there is that connect between policies of government and the people who are the receiving end. That is why we're here. I think there are a lot of interpretations to be given to it.
Plateau State lawmaker Daniel Chalom, a Labour Party member of the House of Representatives, has announced his defection to the All Progressive Congress on Tuesday. In a letter read by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, Chalom cited the Labour Party's leadership crisis and his desire to support the President in national development as reasons for his decision. He noted that internal conflict within the party had hindered his ability to deliver effective representation. While appreciating the Labour Party for providing him the platform to contest, Chalom explained that joining the APC will enable him to better serve his constituents and contribute to delivering democratic dividends. Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda added that Chalom failed to follow due process as he did not first resign from the Labour Party at the ward level or present evidence of such to the House.
to formally notify you, and through you, the entire honorable members of the 10th Assembly of my decision to defect from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective immediately. This decision has been after deep reflection and consideration of the political crisis rocking the leadership of the party and other dynamics and realities within the nation.
President Bola Tinubu says the vision of his administration is to position Nigeria as a leading agricultural export nation by 2025. The president stated this at the National Convergence for the Renewed Hope Agenda, a strategic blueprint for national development within the South-South region. The forum also launched Project Earn from the Soil, which is a food security initiative capable of transforming subsistence farming from robust export-driven economic opportunities. To this end, the government will give necessary support to the implementation of the laudable project Earn from the Soil to achieve its set objective of empowering citizens to be agents of economic prosperity.
I go as follows. This is just brief remarks from the President. It gives me great joy to be part of this important program today. I am particularly encouraged to see distinguished leaders from this very important region of our country who are gathered here today, and other esteemed guests and patrons across the country. Today's event is significant because it serves as another milestone in our nation's journey to economic transformation.
Other stakeholders expressed belief that the Road to South-South platform serves as a convergence for dialogue, innovation and action. It also echoes the spirit of national unity and collaboration, reaffirming the collective resolve to address pressing challenges and seize emerging opportunities.
The ground and ensure that they feed the region, feed the country at large, and the whole of West Africa. Hence, Project Earn from the Soil being introduced at the villa here today.
So it's at the end of the day.
Oh yes, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFRO, has very amazing foresight. And I remember during his inauguration, he mentioned briefly, and during his campaign also, about economic diversification. And this is a testament that yes, it is possible to actually earn from the soil.
But nobody associates us with that. At best, they'll say, okay, we do a lot of agriculture and all that, but we do a lot of mining too. There's barite, there are all sorts of things. So I think what GIFT is doing is presenting a new face to that region and our contribution to the national equation.
Human rights violation is no doubt a global phenomenon, which Nigeria is not an exception. Illegal arrests by security operatives and delay in justice dispensation of the court of law are strong areas where people's rights are frequently violated in Nigeria. Many innocent people are languishing in detention, and many are being arrested for trivial matters. Galaxy News correspondent Levi Joseph has more in this report.
Human rights is an integral part of God's gift to humans, and violation of these rights is a total decline in the essence of life. Inside the four walls of correctional centers across Nigeria, there are many inmates languishing in detention for no cogent reasons. Also, the issue of criminal defamation is gradually becoming a tool of intimidation for decent voices in the country.
We take note of the despicable spate of increasing pretrial inmates in our custodial centers. Then we are also making this call for action. About 80% of the entire population you see in the entire 253 custodial centers we have in Nigeria is made up of pretrial inmates, divided mainly into these cases, offenses, which can be tried by the magistrate court.
I wonder in Nigeria, why is it that when there is a bail application before a judge, that touches on the fundamental freedom of liberty of the individual. The lawyers have spoken, oh, give him bail. The prosecutor says, don't give him bail. Why must the judge then adjourn for a week to think of the decision he's going to take on the bail application? On the bail application that touches on the liberty. So, first of all, you say, go and remand him.
Respect for opinions of the people and redirection of government policies bearing the plight of the people will be a great thing that could make the society a better place. A victim of human rights violation who was wrongfully arrested in Songwater and brought to Ikeja alongside 3 others whom he did not know on allegation of conspiracy for robbery and spent 16 years in detention while on awaiting trial, relieved his ordeal at the Ikoyi prisons.
I now started seeing all these people. I don't know this man and I don't know the other person, so I was just myself. So when they put us inside the cell, the cell was so filled up with many people like that. So I was inside the cell, but anytime they want to bring me out, they bring me out to hang me, to ask me about Femi. They torture me, they hang me, they torture me, they ask me about Femi. Well, I don't know Femi. Which Femi are you talking about? I don't know this Femi you are talking about. So along the line, I was inside the cell ben. They can't bring me out again for the first time to torture me. They want to kill me.
There's need for audit of prisons across Nigeria and critical need for improved regard for human rights, especially in the conduct of security operatives in Nigeria. From Lagos, this is Lebby Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) and the Nigerian Guild of Editors condemned the growing suppression of press freedom and freedom of expression in Nigeria. At the press briefing where the jointly signed statement by the 2 organizations in commemoration of the International Human Rights Day, it expressed displeasure over the use of obnoxious laws to suppress decent voices in Nigeria.
Understands the value of Section 22 of the Constitution, for instance, that creates an obligation on the media to hold government to account. But we also should know that that cannot be done effectively without understanding what Section 39 of the Constitution means. It means the right to freedom of expression. But apart from using it to hold government to account, perhaps we need to invite the mirror to understand how that sounds also, when perhaps you are criticized in your personal capacity also. And that is a new trend we've been seeing in Nigeria of recent, which is captured in the reports that SERAP has wrote. We have a SERAP monitor that we release every 6 months.
A call was made for total review of Cybercrime Act and not to be used to suppress freedom of speech. Also, the Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation was called upon to desist from clamping down on broadcast stations for doing their job as information dissemination.
We are concerned about the escalating crackdown on the right to freedom of expression and media freedom, and the flagrant disregard to the rule of law by authorities at all levels. We note that the suppression of the press in recent time takes various forms, ranging from extrajudicial to unlawful detentions, disappearances, malicious prosecution, and wrongful use of both legislations and law enforcement agency.
The National Orientation Agency and the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights have joined forces to advocate for family value systems in society, lamenting that lack of family values is traced to quick money syndrome. This was stated during a walk and campaign to commemorate the 2024 International Day of Human Rights held in Abeokuta on Tuesday. Speaking to newsmen, NUA Deputy Director of Admin and Finance, Ugbaji Augustine, stated that parents remain the first agent of socialization. He appealed to parents to create a family value system in their children that will prevent them from getting influenced by peer groups. On his part, CDHR National Vice President Comrade Folarin Olakunle advised the government to incorporate the use of technology towards addressing the nation's security challenges.
To sensitize our people, but there is something in every one of us mind. Not even that we are defending happy, and you are saying a lot.
We are to tell Nigerians that to make money does not involve crooked ways. That anything got in crooked ways will not stand the test of time. There are many things the federal government has packaged for those that are hardworking to key into it, and you can make money. You have all these programs, they give grants, they give loans. The federal government is ensuring that money is not a problem to the youth to set up their own business. They can key into it and start something meaningful rather than
fight insecurity. There's need for the government to empower the relevant agencies saddled with the responsibility of fighting insecurity in the country, and for the people as well to collaborate, to cooperate in the fight against insecurity and violent extremism in our country. So we cannot underestimate the capacity of technology in the fight against insecurity in the country.
As part of the mandate of the Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala to clamp down on illegal activities in Nigerian maritime space, the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta have handed over a seized barge and 2 petroleum tankers laden with suspected stolen product to operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Our correspondent Daily Fason completes the story.
The seized barge, Christine Ogenekome, which was paraded at the Nigerian Navy jetty in Warri, and the trucks were said to have been arrested at Newa Jetty on November 7, 2024 by the Special Forces of the NNS Delta while on gunboats patrol. Briefing newsmen on top of the seized barge, the commander NNS Delta, Commodore Abba Musin, who was represented by the NNS Delta Executive Officer, Commander Ayi Ashibong, said the arrests were made through credible intelligence gathering.
Okay. Based on credible intelligence on Thursday, 7th November 2024, the Nigerian Navy ship Delta gunboats intercepted and arrested a barge and 2 trucks suspected to be carrying stolen crude oil at Newa Jetty. Our primary objective is to apprehend those who conduct crude oil-related illegal activities. If you don't change, we shall unleash our ruthless operations team on you and rid you out of Delta State.
Speaking further, he stressed that the exercise is in line with the ongoing Operations Delta Sanity and Delta Safe.
Again, one among other series of actions in support of Operation Delta Sanity of the Nigerian Navy and Operation Delta Safe of Defense Headquarters. As part of Navy's Coast Guard function in nation building, we remain resolute in freeing our areas of operations from all forms of illegal oil theft and related criminalities. We thank all government agencies that support our operations, as well as the whole of good society in Delta State, whose contributions to our effort have been excellent. Thank you.
The Kaduna State Police Command has announced a series of successful operations against criminal elements, including neutralizing a bandit, foiling a kidnapping attempt, and arresting 3 suspected armed robbers and gun runners. This is contained in a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer, ASP Mansour Hassan, who noted that several firearms and ammunition were also recovered during the operations. He said the operations were carried out between December 8 and 10, 2024, following credible intelligence. Mansour stated that a patrol team from the Barnawa Division intercepted 2 suspects, Andre Emmanuel and Mendwas Peter Bulus. during a stop-and-search operation and recovered items, including a service pistol, 2 Infinix phones and quantities of suspected Indian hemp. A surveillance team attached to the Dan Magaji division intercepted 3 individuals along the Kanu-Kaduna Expressway. A search revealed 216 rounds of 9mm ammunition and 1 round of 7.62 ammunition. The suspects, identified as Buhari Suleiman Jamil and Aliyu Abdullahi, are believed to be involved in arms trafficking. Preliminary investigations revealed Yakubu had purchased ammunition from Suleiman before being apprehended. The Ogun State government has reiterated the commitment towards improved security architecture for secured environment for living and doing business. The governor, Dapo Abiodun, represented by his deputy Noimot Salako Oidele, made the promise in Abeokuta, the state capital, during the pull-out ceremony of the 36th Commissioner of Police in the state, Abiodun Alamutu, held at the arcade ground of the governor's office. The AIG Zone 2, who represented the Inspector General of Police, commended his professionalism, dedication and utmost sense of duty.
And dedication have been a shining light for all of us who have had the privilege to serve alongside with you. Your career in the force has been outstandingly remarkable. Over the decades, you have distinguished yourself in various capacities, handling every responsibility with wisdom, diligence, and excellence. You have left indelible marks of success and service wherever you have been posted. The men and women you have led and the countless lives you have touched are a testament to the quality of your leadership and the depth of your humanity.
Giving his speech at the event, the retired Commissioner of Police commended the sense of purpose among its sister security agencies with admonition not to drop the ball.
Stay safer. Your dedication to public safety has motivated our officers to excel in their service. To our Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, MPN, thank you for your guidance and mentorship. Your exemplary leadership has been instrumental in navigating the challenges we faced.
The state's deputy governor, who represented Governor Dapo Abiodun, seized the occasion to assure residents and business concerns of a vowed commitment to a support for security agencies and improved security architecture in the state.
And accomplishments that define your legacy. While your official work concludes today, the impact you have made will continue to resonate for generations. Our administration remains steadfast in implementing our Building Our Future Together agenda. We understand that security is not solely about equipment or technology. It requires collaboration among government, security agencies, and citizens.
And I'll move over to the foreign desk for more news.
This is news from the international scene. Syrian rebel fighters say they have found around 40 bodies showing signs of torture in the mortuary of a military hospital in a suburb of Damascus following the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad. Video and photos showed bodies wrapped in blood-stained white shrouds piled up inside a refrigerated room at Rasta Hospital on Monday. Several of the bodies appeared to have wounds and bruising on their faces and torsos. Pieces of adhesive tape bearing numbers and names were also visible. He said the rebels had gone to hospital after receiving a tip from a member of staff about bodies being dumped there. It was not clear how long the bodies have been stored at the mortuary, but they were at various stages of decomposition. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based monitoring group, says almost 60,000 people were tortured and killed in the Assad government's prison. Human rights groups say the more than 100,000 people have disappeared since Assad ordered a brutal crackdown on pro-democracy protests in 2011 that triggered the civil war. A Syrian non-governmental organization said it was likely that the bodies in Rasta were detainees from the notorious Sayyidanaya prison, which is just the north of Damascus. The discovery of the bodies came as the Syrian Civil Defense, whose rescue workers are widely known as the White Helmets, announced that it had concluded a search operation for possible detainees in secret cells or basement of Sayyidanaya prison without finding anyone. UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights SOHR says it has documented more than 310 strikes by the IDF since the fall of the Assad regime on Sunday. The strikes have targeted military facilities of the Syrian army, including weapons warehouses, ammunition depot, airports, naval bases and research centers. Israel says its actions are to prevent weapons falling in the hands of extremists as Syria transitions into a post-Assad era. The SOHR reported that attacks spanned Aleppo, Damascus and Hama, with more than 60 taking place overnight between Monday and Tuesday alone. Reports say that many of the facilities hit have not merely been damaged but completely destroyed. Rami Abdulrahman, the founder of the SOHR, described the impact of the strikes as destroying all the capabilities of the Syrian army and said the Syrian lands are being violated. The IDF denied that its troops are strayed into Syrian territory. Daily News meant that reports of tanks near Damascus are false. IDF troops are stationed within the buffer zone as stated in the past, a spokesman said. On Monday, the Israeli military released photos of its troops who crossed from the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights into the demilitarized buffer zone in Syria, where UN peacekeepers are based. A 26-year-old man has been charged with murder over last week's fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Luigi Mangione was taken into custody at a McDonald's in the town of Altoona, Pennsylvania, on Monday after a customer at the fast food outlet recognized him. An Ivy League graduate from a prominent Maryland family, he was found in possession of a gun and a handwritten document that expressed ill will towards corporate America, according to police. People who knew him told U.S. media he suffered from a painful back injury and that he had become socially withdrawn in recent months. Thompson, 50, was fatally shot in the back last Wednesday morning outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where United Healthcare, the medical insurance giant he led, was holding an investor meeting. Police say he was targeted in a pre-planned killing. Mangione initially appeared in a Pennsylvania court on Monday, charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and other charges. He was handcuffed at the wrist and ankle and seemed calm during the hearing, occasionally looking around at those present, including the media. Just hours later, New York investigators charged him with murder and 4 other counts, including firearm charges. Still on the international scene, South Korea's opposition-controlled parliament has passed a bill that seeks to appoint a special counsel to investigate President Yoon Suk-yeol over field martial law as the governing party discussed its potential resignation in the coming month. The bill, passed on Tuesday, requested the appointment of a special prosecutor to determine the truth about the internal rebellion through the unconstitutional declaration of martial law, according to Yonhap News Agency. At least 210 lawmakers voted in favor and 63 against, while 14 members abstained out of the 287 who attended the session. The bill came after Yoon survived the first impeachment motion last week when the 300-seat parliament fell short of a quorum of 200 lawmakers. A widespread investigation was launched into the Yoon administration after imposed martial law, only to be forced into reversing that decision by the country's parliament just hours later. The bill also called for investigating other officials, including former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun and Army Chief of Staff General Park Han-soo. Yonhap reported. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is doing well after undergoing surgery for a brain bleed, his doctors say. The 79-year-old was taken to a hospital in the capital, Brasilia, on Monday after he had complained of a severe headache. An MRI scan revealed the bleed and Lula was transferred to the renowned Cirílio Libanês Hospital in Sao Paulo to have it drained. The intracranial hemorrhage was caused by a blow to the head he sustained when he fell in his bathroom at the presidential residence in October, according to a hospital statement. Doctors said they had performed a craniotomy on the president, a procedure in which part of the bone is surgically removed from the skull to treat the bleed and relieve the pressure. The bone is then replaced. Lula is being monitored in the intensive care unit and doing well, the hospital statement adds. It also said there have been no complications during the surgery. Lula had slept in the bath in the Alvorada Palace in 19 October and hit the back of his head. He had to have 5 stitches and, on his doctor's advice, cancelled his planned trip to Russia for a summit of the BRICS country. He returned to field duties days later. Lastly, on the international scene, an evacuation order is in place near the city of Malibu in the U.S. states of California after a wildfire broke out with a rapid rate of spread. The blaze had been dubbed the Franklin Fire by authorities, who say it has burned more than 300 acres in Malibu Canyon after start at about 10:50 p.m. local time on Monday. Firefighters are on the scene and a mandatory evacuation order is in place in the surrounding area. It is not yet clear what caused the blaze, which has been labeled a bushfire, meaning a type of blaze affecting lower-lying vegetation such as grasses. Wildfires more generally in California have the capacity to burn through thousands of acres of vegetation, meaning that this blaze is relatively small, although officials have highlighted the speed of spread. The evacuation now discovered the region east of Malibu Canyon Road and south of Puma Road, as well as the Serra Retreat area. The County of Los Angeles Fire Department said Malibu authorities highlighted that the fire itself was about 3 miles north of the Pacific Coast Highway. It is north of Malibu itself, a small upmarket city west of Los Angeles, popular with wealthy celebrities and near Pepperdine University. The university said the incident was not threatening its property, but that the fire had the potential to grow and that the local area might experience power cuts. And that's it from the international scene.
And that's all we have on Galaxy Prime Time News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Warangi Mazaka. Goodbye.